My girls, get busy. You got some queen raising duties to do now. Welcome back to the wet coast. It's the middle of June and today I have to be a beekeeper, and the reason why is this hive behind me is going gangbusters. In the previous video that I did about this hive a few weeks ago, link of course is in the notes if you want to go check it out. This hive is really strong and I've done a little bit of a heft test by reaching behind it and giving it a bit of a lift, and it is full of honey. And I want to do an inspection now, and with the inspection I want to check for larvae. I want to see if I can see the queen, but it's not a big deal if I see larvae and freshly laid eggs. And I want to check how much honey they have, because I think there's a ton in there, and that might mean that they're starting to get honey bound, where there's no more room for the queen to lay eggs and make little baby bees. If that is the case, I'm going to split this hive as well. It's getting, well, right in the middle of swarm season. At some point, if I don't address this, the hive will swarm, and I'd rather have another hive than lose half my bees. So let's get to it. I've got some equipment all laid out ready to go depending on what circumstance I find myself in. I've got some shallows. If that top box is full of honey, I'm going to take a few frames out and replace them. I'll use the honey for myself. I've got another deep over there with some frames ready to go. That's going to be the box that I do the split into. I know that the brood chamber in this hive right now is that middle box, so I'll be looking for lots of brood, and if I have enough bees, I'm going to move some brood and some resources like honey and stuff into the new box, shake in a bunch of bees and walk away from it, and they can figure it out and make their own queen. First, got to get the smoker going. All right, let's open her up and see what we got. That is a beautiful frame of honey. Capped on both sides. Love it. Let's check the outside frame here. Maybe that's one I want to take too. Not quite ready. Fully capped on one side. Not quite on the other. This one looks good. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at this. Both sides. Love it. Okay, so I've taken 4 frames of capped honey out of this shallow and replaced it with frames that I've had since last year. They're drawn out. 3 of them are drawn out. 1 of them is partially drawn out, so the bees can take care of that stuff. The next thing I need to do is to take this shallow off and check the brood box down here, make sure I got larvae, and start doing my split. Yeah, I'm gonna say this hive is doing just fine. So this is another really nice frame of honey that is in the process of being refined and capped. Getting into the brood chamber here, lots of, oh, I shouldn't hold the frame like that. Lots of capped brood. A couple of practice queen cells going on. On this frame I'm starting to see larvae, so that one's a candidate for the split. And right in here, I know the camera probably won't pick it up, but there's eggs in these cells, so that's great evidence that the queen is still laying. They're centered right down at the bottom of the cell, so odds are it's not a laying worker, so I still have a queen. Oh, that's a heavy one. I mean, that's a lot of honey on this one. Oh, I think I see the queen. Yep, she's just gone under. Yep, that's her right there. So this is a frame of brood from the original hive. I'm just going to shake these bees into the new hive because they're all nurse bees. And I'll do the same with this frame. Make sure the queen's not on there, which I'm sure she isn't because I've kept it separate. More bees. More bees. More bees. More bees. And yes, finally, more bees. Okay, so my split is complete. This box of bees is packed full of bees now. I've shaken a lot of the brood bees out of the original hive in there. You want to have lots and lots of brood bees because there's brood in there. I've put in about 3 frames of brood. There's a frame of nectar and there's a frame or so of honey as well. So this hive should be set up to make their own queen. So I'm going to close it up. I'm going to wait a month because that's how long it's going to take for them to make a new queen and for that queen to start laying eggs. Well, that went pretty smooth. I'm pretty happy about that. If all goes well, fingers crossed, I will have 2 functioning hives and I'll know in about a month. I'll do an inspection on the big hive again in 2 weeks to make sure that everything is okay in there. I'm not going to touch anything in the new hive because they'll start making queen cells. There's not a lot of room in there, and there's always a chance of pulling frames of destroying a queen cell, and by then it's too late for them to make new queens. So I'm not going to mess with it for at least another month. Hope you enjoyed this video. Short. I'm not an expert beekeeper by any stretch. I've only been doing it for about 6 years, and this is kind of how I'm doing it. This is my walk-away split. There's lots of videos on YouTube on how to do these things. Maybe I did it right, maybe I did it wrong. Works for me. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you like the channel, why not subscribe? If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. You'll be doing me a favor, and it helps get the channel promoted, and it helps me grow this channel. I'm having a lot of fun doing this, and I really appreciate your guys' support. Regardless, see you in the next video.